Okay, here we go. There we go. So I've been trying to live stream for like the last, no, this is the third time in the last week and a half that I've tried to live stream. And I'm finally ready. Um, Happy Labor Day, everyone. I am here in San Francisco. I made some kind of concoction. I don't know what we call this. This is like, it's got some cold brew, Starbucks mixed with Cinnabon vodka. Mm. Then I threw a little bit of coffee cream in there. So we're just having a ball. It's Labor Day. And I really wanted to check in. I should have like uploaded a video today, but like since I've gotten back from Greece, which is about a week and a half, I have just been completely lazy. But I'm gonna be like going to Sacramento, California, to my dad's house to like regroup and like get back into the swing of like working and taking my YouTube channel seriously. But anyway, I figured I would come on live and I would answer like random questions. So I just Googled like 65 random questions to ask, start a conversation with anyone. So I'm just gonna go down the list and see what comes out. Take a little sip. Okay. Um, if you had three wishes, what would you wish for? Um, that's really hard. And I feel like, oh my God, if you guys gave me a genie, I would be like, dang, what do I wish for? Because I know you can't wish for more wishes, but I'm going to say I wish that I wish that I had the means for anything that I ever wanted and needed, which I kind of do, but like just to fulfill everything that goes on in my head, like I could bring all that to fruition. That would be one. Two, I really would wish for like us to live in a world where we are not ruining the environment. Like I just feel like we could live in a society that is not so environmentally degradationist, destroyers. Like I just really I'm like, okay, that would be my wish. Another wish, like because in Aladdin, he told you there's like three rules. He's like, okay, you cannot wish death on anybody, I can't kill anybody, and I can't wish anyone to fall in love. So I would want to have true love. I would definitely wish for that, but we're gonna just keep those rules in. So the environmental stuff, and I mean like, okay, so I do want to wish for like world peace, but I don't know if world peace is a possibility. I kind of feel like I don't need a GD, I need Cosmo want. I know that's right. Then I can have all those. I know, right? Like I wish we could switch my genie for Cosmo Wanda. Like I need Fairly Odd Parents. But like I feel like if I were trying to wish for world peace, like is that impossible? Because like that means there's gonna be a world with zero conflict. And I don't know, but like people will just be like, remember that episode of Fairly Odd Parents where they had like the everybody was like a gray blob? Like that's kind of how I look at it. Like I'm not a fan of conflict and there being no peace, but like to this day and age, even though we still have global conflicts is like is diminishing. Like we live in the most peaceful time ever because superpowers have realized that it's much easier. Hey, Chariot Man Gaming, world peace is very important. That's what we all hope for. Yeah, like we live in a place where there's the least amount of global conflicts than any other time in history. And I know we think that like, oh my God, the world is totally like turning to shit. Like it does feel like that, but like in actuality, it's more peaceful than it's ever been. Ever. Like, China and America, like they're kind of, Russia, like we're all not killing each other. And we've kind of collaborate a little bit more than we fight. But I think it's getting better. So anyway, I think those are my three wishes. Like I kind of just wish that like if I like let's just say I wanted to like take have a yacht. Boom, I'd have the means to have a yacht. So anything that I want, I can have it, you know. So would that even cancel out the other two, the needs? Because what if I want world peace? Would I just get it? I don't know. Y'all, yeah, thank God. Exactly. I told you guys that I'm like, I've only had like 2 or 3 sips of this. I've been really good with my drinking lately. Like when I go to bars, except when I was in Greece one day. My window's like all the way open or my balcony's open. So if you hear all of that, my street is annoying. But yeah, no, I got really drunk one day in Greece in Athens, and I kind of like sprained my toe. And yes, I will be doing. I wish COVID didn't exist. I agree with that. I do agree with that. I agree with that, but I also feel like I wish people would take it more flipping serious. Like this that's more of my issue because we have like billions of viruses, like let's get rid of viruses. Like are there any I don't know. I've done some kind of like reading up on viruses since COVID-19 and I don't really understand the point of viruses. Like, like there are certain bacteria that have there's good bacteria and bad bacteria, but like I don't think there's any good with viruses. So let's just eliminate all of them. Okay, so Michaela, you here, I'm gonna give you one wish. Okay. And you can just wish away all the viruses. I don't know. Cause like, with like certain bacteria, like it eats away I don't know. But I've heard with viruses, there's just like no redeeming qualities to them. Hmm. So let's eliminate all viruses. But like I wish people would take it more seriously. Like it's not that hard to not, I mean, I've had so many arguments in the last like since I've been back, and I don't want to like elaborate on this, but I will. Never mind. I tell you guys things. So like I was talking to my cousin who I love her. She's the one who I visit in Vegas. And I wish her 20 for the Hair and 20XX tour. That tour, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I was saying about my cousin, like she made this joke about not getting vaccinated. And I was like, this is not funny. It's not funny to me. And I mean, I understand having some kind of like reluctance, but I don't understand at the same time because like I've been talking to you about this for like the last 6 or so months, the whole year practically. She's like, well, why do you feel comfortable getting vaccinated? I'm like, look, I travel a lot. I used to go to China once every year, like have to enter and exit and like renew my student visa and all that stuff. And they used to give me all kinds of vaccines. I don't flipping know what was in them. I don't ask. I don't think. I rarely get sick, so they must work. And I mean, I'm going to keep it as simple as that because like I have to trust the medical industry at least to some degree because I do know that even though I'm not like a freaking scientist or a epidemiologist or a virologist or any of the sort, if I get sick, I'm going to the doctor. Like that's what I'm doing. I have tried all the like what is it? Like the holistic not yeah, like Chinese medicine, like I mean, I don't have anything against Chinese medicine, but a lot of it doesn't work. Not compared to like no, I'm not going to say Western medicine. I hate that term. It's not Western medicine. It's like modern medicine. So like I'm gonna use that. Like if and so all the people who are against being vaccinated because wait, oh, COVID made people in my city act insane. Literally, exactly. And all the people who are against the vaccine because like one of my cousins was talking about they put oh my god, and she was all drunk. This was like a couple nights ago. She was all like, they putting trackers in us. I'm like, sis, the tracker's right here. That's where the tracker is. And I'm like, and my dad would be like, what are they tracking? Where are you going? What are you doing? Like, no one cares. You're not that important. Believe it or not, you really aren't. And I feel like if the government has some kind of like nefarious intent on like, okay, vaccinate the people and blah blah blah, and turn them into zombies, I'm just like, it's not that hard to control people. Like the people have been controlled for centuries and means of like I don't know, the media and all kinds of stuff. I don't know if they have to come up with this whole elaborate lie to get us to I don't to perform. You know what I mean? Or to do what they want us to do. We're gonna be doing what they want us to do regardless. Anyway, whatever. Okay. What would you rather throw away? Love or money? This is only question number two. I think I looked up something with like 65 questions. So what would I rather throw away? Love or money? Oh my God. Why are they so philosophical? Because I'm like, you know what? Like, I have so much love in my life, like from my family, like my mom and my dad, and like so many of my great friends. And like, I love that. And I don't have like romantic love, but I feel like I can live. So are we throwing away all of that love? Or are we just talking about romantic love? Because like I'm okay without the romantic love. I don't know. I don't think I'm asexual, but like I am at the point where if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like I'm very content right now. But if I had love, I don't know if I would throw away. People be eating neon colored cheetah. Can we talk? Can we talk? Marcus, can we talk? Because and I'm not trying to throw shade at my cousin. Like I love her, but like you against the vaccine, but in the same breath will tell me that you want a BBL, which is the one plastic surgery with the highest mortality rate. Like literally, plastic surgeons are like, we need to recall this shit because bitches is dying on the surgeries. They dying, they heart stopping, and then they all up in the freaking hotels in Miami, and they and Hilton and them is pissed off that they leaving all these freaking booty fluids in the sheets and stuff like that, and charging them this extra surcharge and all this. All of that. You're so against the vaccine and healthy, like, oh my God, I want to keep myself healthy and I want to like, I don't want to put all that bloom 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 in me. I'm like, but you're eating neon colored Cheetos and wanting to get BBLs and all these things. Like, how much do you really care about like the same people who like the cousin who was like talking about they put trackers in us? And I'm not saying any of these people's name. This is not the same Vegas cousin. This is a different cousin. She was over here. I said, girl, this is what I can't do. This is what I can't do. It's the inconsistency for me. If you're gonna be anti, like one girl that I knew, not I don't know her like that well, but it's a friend of a friend of a friend. How many degrees removed? Oh man, this life's gonna be that one doctor from Botch said it's that one doctor from Botch, and then this one Korean doctor on YouTube, a doctor whatever. He talks about like I won't do them. Like they're literally going to be recalled by the FDA soon because they are completely not FDA. What is it? The it's like some kind of government surgical board, but like yeah, it's just it's the inconsistency for me because I'm like okay, so it's one girl that we knew, me and a friend, distant friend. I probably was friends with her like 10 plus years ago, and her being like, "Oh, they're gonna start like demanding this and that," and I told you guys a million times about the one guy I was like talking to, kind of, and he was like this huge conspiracy theorist. I said, like I'm here for the energy, but like go all out. I don't see you. Building no bunkers. I don't see you building no bunkers. I don't see you going off the grid. All I hear you doing is like posting stuff, and what? You know what I mean? It's just I'm tired of it. It is so flipping exhausting. Like I would not want to. And okay, these type of conspiracy theorists, it's so American. And I don't want to say there are no like Chinese conspiracy theorists or there are no Greek radical thinkers. Like they're not. There are, I'm sure, but like the vast majority of these conspiracy theories comes from Americans. Like we have, I don't know, this like national distrust for government and society. Like I don't know. It's really American. I forgot what I was watching. It was on YouTube for sure, but a guy had said this. I think his name, he's Canadian. I think his name was like JJ something. If you guys know who I'm talking about, JJ something, I'd have to look in my subscriptions. But he was saying how like conspiracy theories are as American as apple pie. Like you're not going to all the people I've spoke to in Asia and in Greece, because I just got back from Greece, and there was a lot of Europeans. None of them talk like this. All of them just say, "Yeah, we got the vaccine. It's our civic duty to like minimize this global catastrophe." But in America, it's like, "Oh, they put trackers in us. They, Illuminati all through your body." I'm tired. I'm tired. Okay, so did I answer the question? What would I throw away, love or money? So I don't know, because if I'm living my life how it is right now with no romantic love, I'm keeping my money. I'm not throwing away my money. I don't know. That's exactly how it is here. That is how it is. That is how it is. Okay, so question number 3. What's the most beautiful place you've ever seen? Oh my gosh. The most beautiful place I've ever seen. I would say Durban, South Africa. Like where I was staying in Durban was a hostel called, well, it was like not a hostel, like a lodge. I don't know what the difference is. It was called Blue Sky something. And it was like right over the Indian Ocean. It just had the most beautiful view and it had these trees and spectacular. Please don't do your gardening now. Can you ignore that? I can't ignore that. That's so annoying. There anyway. So what was your fondest memory of high school? My fondest memory of high school, graduating, like being done with it. Okay, no, I got one. My fondest memory was when I was able to go to Italy. So see, I'm being so distracted, so you guys have to bear with me with this whole thing. And then I need to go upstairs and get me a fan. It's hot. Okay, so okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's just go upstairs and get my fan. I think the Wi-Fi will carry. And then I'll tell you my fondest memory as we're going. So I was a junior in high school, and I had this group of friends. We were the cool cats, even though we weren't cool. We were like the opposite of cool. We were like losers, which is fine because all the losers become cool in the future. Anyway, so they were doing this like international exchange between our high school and an art school in Italy, small town in Italy, right? And at the time, I grew up with never knowing anyone who's traveled. It's just never been on any of my family. Like, even to this day, no one in my family has been anywhere. It's just like telling me about going to Italy when I was 15, 16 years old. It's like telling me to go to the moon today. I just never thought it was possible. So I never went to, they had like months of meetings and planning out the trip and whatever. So I think every week, my group of friends, which was a very like multicultural group of friends I had one friend who was Mexican, one who was like Filipino, one girl was Jewish. Like it was like we were very multicultural group of friends. And all of them would go to that weekly meeting. And my friend Yesenia, who is Mexican American, she was like, "Why don't you come to the meetings? Like, why aren't you coming to the meetings?" And I was like, because I'm never gonna be able to go to Italy. What?" And she was like, "No, just like you should just come to the meeting. Just try and see what it's about, see what we're talking about." And I went to one of the meetings, and this is why I keep telling people you have to say yes to things. You have to say yes to things. So I went to one of the meetings, and the professor, who's this like really tiny man from, was he from Nicaragua or from Venezuela? One of the two. And his name was Mr. Correz. I'd have to ask you, Yesenia, like what was his name again? I know it's a shame that I forget his name, but I don't have a yearbook from my school. Anyway, so I went to the meeting, and he was like, "Don't let money be the reason you don't go," right? And I'm looking at him like, how am I ever gonna, like I don't know how much money was it. I can't even remember. Probably was like $1,000, $2,000 to go. And to me, $1,000, $2,000 is like, that's so much money. I couldn't even, like it's just unfathomable amount of money. And it's amount of money that my family just doesn't have like that. And he says, don't let money be the reason you don't go. Do you want to go? And I was just kind of like, yeah, I want to go. He said, all right, then you can go. I'll pay for it. And he basically was like, he said, I think you should go. I think this would be great for you. You should do it. And this had prompted me to get a job. I was the first in my friend group to get a job. And this was a job where, so I basically like got the job after, like right after that meeting. I went home and I said to my mom, I was like, oh my God, he wants us to go. Oh, Lu, hi. He said, wait, no, actually, okay. After he said, you should go, I'll pay for it. You just pay me, you find a way to pay me back kind of thing. And I said to my mom, I was like, hey, I think I'm going to go to Italy. Like, and she was like, yeah, do it. Why don't you do it? And the rest is history. So I went down to the local market in my neighborhood and I was like, hey, I want to work here. They were like, we're not hiring people your age. You're only 16. We hired this one 18-year-old girl and she sold somebody, some underage person, alcohol, and we got and fined and got it in. Okay. But we're thinking of hiring a grocery bagger. We let you bag some groceries. So like after a couple weeks, like I remember I filled in the application and he was like, we'll get back. We're still thinking of having this position, but we're not sure. And this is like a local tiny grocery store, like 3 aisles, 3 aisles, a little deli, a little coffee shop, and a little coffee counter, a little produce section. That's it. Like it's tiny. And so, hold on, let's let the bus go by. And then the bus from the other direction has to go by too. Okay, so anyway, I remember like they were not really trying to hire me because of my age and everything like that. But I just was really persistent. I was like, I want this job. And she's like, okay, we're going to call you. And then like a week later, I'd be like, I didn't get my phone call. So anyway, eventually they hired me and I was the youngest to work at that that grocery store. And the rest is history. That's where I met the woman who lived across the street and she told me to learn Chinese. And that's my fondest memory of high school. So question number 5. What's your favorite TV show? I have so many. Off the top of my head, I love Shark Tank. I could watch Shark Tank all day, every day. It's kind of how I do my like informal business training. I love that show. I also could watch the Food Channel, anything to do with food and travel. Like I've been watching this one show lately called Somebody Feed Phil. It's on Netflix. If you haven't seen that show, it's so cute. Like he travels. He used to write for Everybody Loves Raymond or something. And I don't know. I really like it's inspired me to have a show. I want a show like that. Like that's what I want to do with my life. Like, so that's a show that I love. I love Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. That's probably the show that I feel like was made in my honor. Like 1950s comedy. It's still like really like it's vulgar in a lot of ways. Like they use a lot of profanity but the outfits are amazing. It's funny. It's like whimsical. Like I love that show. Another show that I like off the top of my head. I like a lot of shows, but like those are the ones I can think of. And then I also watch the Food Channel religiously. Like that's what I love. Food and travel related content and like 50s. And one of my favorite shows growing up was Sanford and Son. If you've never watched Sanford and Son, you're missing out. Watch that show. It's so funny. A drink. Manifest, manifest, manifest. Okay, crystal ball, get the genie, all that. That is what I'm manifesting. Okay, so what's the strangest thing in your refrigerator? I don't know, because this. Oh, I didn't plug in my computer. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Oh, hold on. Ah, okay, okay, we good. We good. We good. We good. Okay. Would you rather? Okay, I don't know who these people are. Have you ever been to a five-star resort? No, I haven't. I travel on the cheap, cheap, on the low, low. Okay, I've felt like I've traveled. I wonder one day, because like I spent like $200 for one night in a hotel in Mykonos. That's the most I've ever spent on any accommodation. I was like, oh my god! But I did meet someone who spent 2,000 for one night in Santorini, like in this not a it wasn't a resort. It was like a villa. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, you think I'll ever make enough money where I would want to do that? Because to me, it just seems like a waste of money. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to see the five-star resort, but no, I have never stayed in one. What was your favorite toy growing up? Brats. I love brats. Any scary moments during your travels? Hi, Sandra India. Scary moments. I can think of one. It was when I was in Lesotho, and I met this guy, right? And this is like this is stuff I would not do nowadays. Like I mean, I was very much like fearless or naive, just not thinking about, the what ifs of stuff. I think that's what happens when you get older. You get more conscientious. You're like, please don't be going off with guys you don't know. So I remember he had like and he's a total sweetheart. He was like not a predator or killer or anything, thankfully. So I went with him to some random friends of his house, and luckily, and they had this like dog chained to this poor flipping dog chained to outside of the house. And I was like, dude, you need to get the dog some water. And he's like this big dude, right? And he was from Algeria, like really tall, probably like 6'6", 6'5". And and nothing scary happens. But I feel like this is the scariest moment because this is the only time that like I really just put myself in a situation where anything could have gone wrong. Anything could have went left. I was around complete strangers, all men, like and I think looking back, I would not do that today. But then, I mean, I was not scared because I felt like I was with someone who loved me. Like, I mean, like I mean, we barely knew each other, but this man was like in love with me. Like he was like I was his delicate flower. And so when he took me to that house, it was like kind of hut like, it was not hut, but it was a house, and then the dog was like it looked starved and malnourished. It was like crazy. And I just could see the dog looking so like what's the word, abused and whatnot. I was like, tell your friend to get the dogs to let the dog off the thing because it's like fucking hot, and he's got no water, and he's like, I'm not letting off the thing, and I'm like, let him off the thing. I'm getting into an argument about this dog, and the guy who I was seeing, he was like, go get the dog some water. Like he like was on my side. But I really think that was a scary moment in my travels. Another one, I would say which is does China count as my travels? Yes, we'll count it. But like when I had gotten into like bit of a altercation in Shanghai, and this Chinese guy was like accusing me of beating him up. Like trying to extort money from me. Like this was like 2014, my first year in Shanghai, my first couple months at Fudan University. Um and what happened was I went to this birthday party, and it was at this like really nice hotel with this beautiful buffet. Like I remember the hotel, like at the time it was a lot of money for me, like 200 RMB, which probably equals like 30 something bucks, like 40 bucks today. But like 200 RMB for someone who's getting like 1400 a month is a lot of money. So I remember like to go downtown by taxi, like I would spend probably like close to 100 to get down there. So I remember I just took um 100 to get into the buffet, 100 to get home because I took the subway there. And they had all you could eat, all you could drink. It was like one of the most beautiful buffets that I've ever had. I'm talking like they had like crab. They had these really nice like craft beers. Like I promise you, I think I had like 12 beers. I've never like drank that much beer in my life, and I've never been drunk off beer even since. Like, and I guess I was like drunk, like, but blacked out drunk. Like, I don't really remember anything. And I know I had these earrings that I love, these vintage earrings that I wore. And there was also a pool. So we're swimming and drinking and eating. And one of my earrings got lost somehow. And I'm thinking it's in the pool. I'm literally going in diving head first. I hit my head on the bottom of the pool. I kid you not. Hit my head just ever so like gently, thankfully, because you could like bust your head open and drown. But I didn't. I just happened to like block, and it didn't like scrape anything, but it did. I felt it a couple days later. Um Diving to look for that earring. And so I lost my earring, and I was, I'm totally blacked out, and like I'm not drunk, but I'm like I don't remember anything. So I think I just kind of like packed up and left. Get in a taxi, like I'm ready to go home back to my dorm. In the taxi, the taxi driver drives me back, and I'm gonna give him my other 100, which was for the taxi to get back, and there's no 100 there. I'm like, oh damn. So I did bring my bank card, my ATM card, and I put the ATM card. I said to him like, hey, there's an ATM around the corner. Let me take out some money and go from there. I put my card in the machine. It gets stuck, like stuck, completely stuck. And I remember a girl behind me um calling the bank, right? And this is like it's not that late. It's probably like 9 o'clock PM. It's like 8 or 9 PM. And I remember this girl calling the bank for me because I'm starting to like sober up, I guess. And then that's all I can remember, other than like the bank obviously is not open. It's like 9 o'clock on a Sunday. And I say, okay, I just walk home. I just walk to back to my dorm, which was probably like a 10-minute walk away. And I don't remember how, but I get to the dorm, the gate of the dorm, and the police are there, or like they're like something happened. Like, oh no, the taxi driver comes after me and calls the police. The police come, and they are taking me to the police station. And I'm like, they don't like arrest me, they don't put me in a fucking handcuffs or anything like that. No, they don't do that. They were just like, all right, girl, come with us. And I'm like, all right. So I go with them, go to the police station, which is pretty close. And when we get there, it's a taxi driver and some man that I've never seen in my life, some younger man, and he tells them that I assaulted him. And I'm like, No, there's no way I assaulted him because you guys, y'all know, like I'm a scrappy girl. Like if I assault you, like there's gonna be marks. Like I'm not. I promise you, I'm a lover and a fighter. I'm like, there's no way I assaulted this dude. So I am like telling the police, like, this, I don't know this person. No, there was the taxi driver, and then there was the one girl who helped me call the da da da. And I'm there for like a couple minutes. And I remember I'm still freaking wasted, mind you guys. Like I am out of this world. And I remember just being like begging the police officers for a cigarette. And they're like, we cannot give you a cigarette. You're like in trouble right now. And I was like, I please just give me a cigarette like that. Like, right. And so I end up just calling my college counselor. And luckily I had his phone number. And he comes and he sorts everything out, and he gives the taxi driver like 200 RMB. He tells the guy who, like, I've heard of situations like this going really really bad with foreigners, like them pretty much like extorting money out of foreign people, like, being like, oh my god, you hit me, now I need 200,000 yuan, like what, $20,000. And it's, no, thankfully that didn't happen. Because we're at the end of the day, like I was in the law school. So like, I don't know what kind of tricks my counselor played or what he did, but like the guy just like demanded an apology. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry, even though like I don't remember you. And I really don't believe that I did anything, but I don't know. So I was able to go home. Yeah, so that's probably one of the scariest moments for me, just because of like the what ifs. The what ifs are always the scary things, like not necessarily what happens, the things that didn't happen is what scares me. But like, yeah, that turned out okay, except for I think a week later, they had called me back into the police station, and that wasn't, and I was like, oh my god, I thought this whole situation was over. Oh my god, oh my god. And I remember I told my mom about the whole situation, and she was like, oh my god, I'm gonna call the, she tried to like call the embassy and call the this and call Barack Obama and stuff like that. She was like, they're trying to extort my daughter in China, like that. Like my mom is so cool. She was just like trying to, do what she could do from where she was. um no, they just called me back to like sign some statement like that. It was nothing. He was like, "Oh yeah, that's because we filed the la la laws, and then by the time I come back, he was like, not the, what do you call it, like the sheriff or something." He was like, "Oh yeah, so I gotta look through all this crap, and you didn't sign this part, so sign it and go." Everybody was really nice to me, except the guy who claimed that I assaulted him, which naturally, like, duh, but like I don't remember. So yeah, that was like, dude, what the heck? I know. I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to do better. I'm doing better. I'm doing better. What's the funniest way you've ever broken the law? Boom. We'll just leave that story to the broken the law, because I guess I like assaulted someone and don't remember. What's your favorite sports team? I'm going to say the Golden State Warriors, because I'm going to marry Clay Thompson and send his money out to the world doing all the things I want to do. Because, money, pardon the expression, is like manure. It's not worth a thing unless it's spread around, encouraging young things to grow. That's from Hello Dolly. If you've never seen, oh no, we were talking about my favorite TV show. That's one of my favorite movies. Um, what talent would you want to possess if you could? I low key would want to sing. Like I feel like if I, like, at the very worst, I could be like a cabaret singer. You know, I can't sing to save my life. Okay. If you could trade lives with someone, who would it be? I don't think I would trade lives with anybody. I don't think so. I'm good on that. If you could erase one event from history, which would you erase? One event. Hmm. 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 I guess like Columbus discovering or landing in the Americas. We'll let someone else do that. Like I would erase that and then I would go to like the old Chinese explorer because there's some I forget his name. There's some explorer from like maybe 400 or 500 years before Columbus who was finding all this stuff and then he was kind of like, I don't really care. I would let him discover or introduce the old world to the new world because Columbus, he was trash. Anyway, um, who do you most like to poke fun at? Anti-vaxxers. Okay, if you were suddenly transported to another planet, how would you assess the situation? I was thinking similar. I was thinking slavery, but your ideas, but ah, ah, it's like a fly. Yeah, because I feel like, hmm, I don't know if slavery can really be attributed to like one event. It's like hard to say. But yeah, if you kind of like tell Columbus, like if you have the I think it was the Queen of Spain at the time, she was like really desperate for a breakthrough or something. If you just kind of say to her like, sis, I'm not trying to spend my money on that. Just be like if you were a cabinet person in her court or whatever, and you're like, okay, sis, we can't give Columbus this money to go and do this experimental. We just can't. We just can't. We just can't. We just can't. It's not no. Then I think history would be way too different, you know? Um, when do you feel the most in control? I don't know. Would you rather have 10 hobbies or one passion? 10 hobbies. What's your favorite movie? Last Holiday by Queen Latifah. Not by Queen, starring Queen Latifah. I like feel good movies. I like that movie, and I like a movie called Mrs. Pettigrew Lives for a Day. I like those type. You see, like the theme here. It's like these people who like discover, oh, you're supposed to just live your best life. Like you're just supposed to live your best life. That's what life is about. Living your best life. And like so Miss Pettigrew lives for a day. She's just not living her best life for forever. And then she starts living her best life. Same with Queen Latifah in that movie. I'm like, yes, that's how it has to be. So I love that movie. I watch it as often as I can. I love feel good movies. I can't watch things that are super like real because I'm like, life is so scary. Okay, if you could interview a famous person, who would you choose? I would probably choose Barack Obama. Like, I would really like to talk to that guy. Just be like, hey, dude, can we talk for a minute? Because I'm like, I, I tried to read his book. What is it called? The one that he came out with like a year ago. It was long. I, I couldn't do it. I was like, let me just ask this. Let me just ask him some questions, okay? If your food is bad at a restaurant, would you say something? I used to not say stuff. Now I do because, and it's just happened maybe like 3 months, 2 months ago was the first time that I've been like, this is terrible. Like, send this back. Like, I think I had like kind of like a po' boy, and the bread was stale. And then you know how like a po' boy you fry whatever you put in there. So I can't remember what kind of meat it was, but or what kind of fish. But it was so oily. It was, and then the bread was. I was like, "You could no." I was like this because I'm trying to like pivot into being a food critic, and I love that little Tevin Campbell song, like Barack Obama. Can we talk for a minute? I got some questions for you. Is the Illuminati real? I'm asking him stuff like that. I'm gonna be like, well, you know, Barack, That's the type of stuff I would ask him. I think I'd have to make a list of questions. He'd be like, "You have 10 questions. Go." I'd be like, "Okay, here's what I'm gonna ask." Yeah. So I do send stuff back now. I send them back. If you could use one word the rest of your life, what word would you choose? Oh, use only one word. I don't get what. Next question. What are your dreams and ambitions? We've talked about this stuff, girl. Y'all know. I got a lot of dreams and a lot of ambition. Okay. Or should I answer this question or move on to the next one? Because I feel like that's gonna be like a whole long long conversation right there. Um yeah, next question. You've been given an elephant. You can't get rid of it. What would you do with it? I would ride it everywhere. I'm riding my elephant everywhere. Everywhere. And I'm going to teach him how to swim so we can like swim and stuff like that. Actually, I saw this so I'm saying like the show that I've been watching, Somebody Feed Phil. He went to Thailand and it was just so beautiful. And he talked about this like elephant sanctuary because that's what you got to do. Go to elephant and tiger sanctuaries. Don't be doing all that weirdo like hugging the tigers and stuff like that because they abuse those tigers. And they drug them up and stuff like that. Like that stuff's weird. Like don't do that. Like go to the sanctuary where they're like they kind of roam free, but they still you can like feed them and stuff like that, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, but he went to one of those elephant sanctuaries. I'm like, oh, I would love to do that. That's on my list. What's the funniest thing you've seen on the news? I don't watch the news. If you had the world's attention for 30 seconds, what would you say? Follow my YouTube channel, subscribe, follow. Okay, here's my Cash App. Like that's what I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. That's what I'm gonna say. I don't have any words of wisdom for the world other than okay, Cash App / Kiara Dice. That's it. YouTube.com/Kiara Dice. Instagram, Kiara Dice, all of it. Every single platform. Um, if you could be best friends with a celebrity, who would it be? And TikTok. Don't forget about TikTok. Don't forget about it. Don't forget about TikTok. My best friend would be Rihanna. That is I feel like tell me someone else you would want to be best friends with. I love that she kind of was like, forget this music stuff. I'm gonna do some mogul stuff. And I saw this one video about it was like I watch a lot of like celebrity gossip stuff on YouTube. And someone was talking about like, oh, Rihanna's a billionaire, but she doesn't pay her Savage X Fenty ambassadors. I'm like, y'all never understand anything. I'm like, what? First of all, a 99.999% of the time when they are endorsing these brands, like these influencers, this is why like I'm not even tripping about the whole influencer thing because it's all fake. They don't pay you. They just give you free lingerie and say, okay, you get this lingerie and you just say you like it or you don't, and you have a link and you get to be on the Savage X Fenty website. Like that's your exchange for it. A little bit of exposure, but does it translate to money? Not always. I mean, I'm sure like there's a lot of people who she has paid, but like a majority of them, no. Yeah, I would be best friends with Rihanna. And then like she also like the way she dances and the way she moves, I feel like I need to go to the Caribbean. Like I need to go to, I don't know, Barbados or Trinidad or Jamaica, and I need them to just like teach me how to like whine and move my hips and stuff like that because I am stiff as a board. Okay. If you were to play a song you love right now, what would it be? I feel bad because the song is so old. It's not old, but it's kind of like old-ish. I'm trying to dirty wine. I'm trying to dirty wine, but like the song that I would play, which I think was written for me. I really do. Kiss Me More by Doja Cat featuring SZA. I love that song so much. and they had like an Asian guy in the video. Like, you guys know I love me some Asian men. And I'm like, this song, even before I saw the video, was like written for me because it's so bubblegum pop, vintage feeling. Like, it's totally my song. So I would, and I have not felt differently about it since I've heard it. Like, I still, every time it comes on, which it comes on a lot, I'm always like, we hug and kiss, we make love. Like, I love it. Can you kiss me more? I love that song. Like, that's what I'm gonna play. Okay, this is stupid. What would you would you rather look like a potato or feel like a potato? Moving on. What would you do with $10 million? Okay, I actually have a whole plan. So I'm taking 2.5 million. Like, I'm gonna first like break it up like that, right? Isn't that five? Let's no, 2 million times five. So 2 million, 2 million, 2 million, 2 million. Let's let the bus go by. Okay, I'm putting 2 million into like some kind of investment account where I just like use the interest per year. I'm taking 2 million, keeping it in cash. I'm taking it, so that's already 4 million. 2 million. I'm gonna invest in my production company because I want to have my show. Oh, I want to have my show. I would totally do that. And then like the rest of the money probably put in like a some kind of high interest yield account, something like that, and then I would definitely be hiring a financial planner and a manager and all that good shit. Okay. How can you tell if someone has a sense of humor? All these buses and like these buses and trains, y'all. Ugh. I don't know how you find out someone has a sense of humor. Or I don't know. Like, I think most people do. Like, that's like having a pulse, right? I don't know. Um, if you were to name your own song, what would you name it? What does that mean? Like the song of my life? I don't know. If you were in a room filled with you and your doppelganger and $2 million, what would you do? I would take the $2 million. Those are some tough questions. Thank you. It's like, what do they mean? What is in your fridge right now? This is my mama's fridge. Y'all want to go see what's in my mama's fridge? She got all kinds of stuff in there, and yeah, we got ain't got nothing to eat. Like, you guys know how it is. You know how it is. Like, there's nothing but this. It's totally full, but there's nothing to eat. Um, what have you learned about life from kids? Don't have any. That's what I've learned. Kids suck. And you can't convince me otherwise. I think kids are absolutely a nightmare, like an absolute nightmare. How would you want to be remembered? I think I want to be remembered as somebody who helps people think differently about the world. I feel like we're just kind of taught to conform and have these like um what's it called, narrow-minded ideas of the world. I just want to broaden everyone's scope. um um are you most like your mom or your dad? That is such a good question, and that stumps me because like I really feel like I'm smack dab in the middle. Like, that's why I love my parents. I'm like, I get the best of both worlds. Like, my mom, she's very like, uh, how do I say this? Like, in terms of money, right? She's very, oh, you gotta do it, like splurge, 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 splurge. And my dad is like, uh, calculate, 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 calculate. Like, let's run the numbers. Let's do this. And then I'm right in the middle. Like, I'm calculating, but I'm splurging. And then my dad is like, I want you guys to meet my parents. They're both so camera shy. Like, it's really funny. Like they won't really you've seen like glimpses of my dad, maybe. I think you've seen my mom too, but like um they don't like coming on camera. So it's hard to get a feel for their personalities. But like I actually feel like my parents, we're f- they're my parents, but we have more of a like friendly relationship. Like they're my biggest supporters. I don't know what I would do without my I'm totally down to put them on camera, but they're not. I mean maybe one day. I'm gonna try to convince them, but like my parents are like totally divorced. I don't think they've spoken to each other, and like my mom says, I haven't seen him since 2007. That's 14 years. So she's like, I have not seen him. So like I don't really see them as a couple. I don't know. I've never like when I'm as an adult, I'm like, what would they talk about? Even they're very Mo and City, you're very like I agree. Like I'm like, I would never have what I have today without my parents. Like they are just like they've never pressured me. They just kind of like let me do my thing. Let me do my thing, and they just like cheerlead and support. And yeah, like I would not trade them for anything. But like who am I more like? I am smack dab in the middle. Sometimes like I can see myself doing my mom stuff and I'm like, oh my god, this is like how my mom is. Cause like everyone, okay, I hung out with a cousin like a couple days ago, and I saw like one of my mom's really good friends from a long time ago, and she was like, oh my gosh, you are just like Nina, just kind of bougie and picky and all these things. She's like, every word that comes out of your mouth, you sound like your mom. I was like, oh my God, really? I don't even realize I'm like her. But yeah, yeah. So anyway, my parents are awesome. I hope to like do a live stream with them or something because they're cool people. They're cool people. But they're camera shy, unfortunately. Um, if you could change your name. Oh, wait. What do you hope your deceased relative would say about you if they saw you now? I don't really know because fortunately, like the only relatives that I have that have passed are like my great grandparents and grandparents. Like, I don't know. Oh, I would love for my grandpa to like just be he'd be so proud. Like it's sad because like I was always really mean to my grandpa. He always would say they used to call me little lady, right? My dad's parents. And I think when I was born, he had already like they were going through retirement at that time, like in their probably mid 70s when I was born. And I think my dad had my grandpa had like really early stage autism, not Alzheimer's. And so like I kind of knew him in the latter stage of his life because my dad and my aunts, they tell me just how growing up he was super strict and he was super da da da. And I'm like, oh, I don't know Papa to be. I call him Papa. He was just like very sweet, but he always like, I was a kid, and so I always just found my grandpa to like get on my nerves. And I'm like, dang, if I could go back, I would have been way nicer to my grandpa. But I was only like 9, 10 when he passed. Um, but he always like he had his little one-liners. Okay, go. Are they stopping in front of my house? Is this like the Amazon people? Okay. No, it's the bus. Go on, bus. No, it's not. Okay. So he used to have these like one-liners. He would say stuff like, you got to be on your P's and Q's. And he would say, like, oh, little lady, you're going to be a school teacher or something like that. And I would be like, no, mama. And he'd say, little lady, you're so mean to me, whatever. So anyway, if I just think like I did become a teacher and I've become like all the things that he kind of like predicted for me. So like anyway, that's the person who I would want to see me now. If you could change your name, what would you change it to? I don't know. I don't know. My name is Kiera. Kiera. Hmm. I really like my name because you can pronounce it differently in like different languages and stuff like that. Like I've been called Kiara, 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 Kiara. All these different combinations. I think that's cool, you know? So I don't know. Like this is probably one reason why I don't need to have a kid because I don't know what I would name it. What's the strangest thing you've ever fallen in love with? What I am doing on here. The strangest thing you've ever fallen in love with. Um well, I've only been in love once, and I don't think anything was really strange about it. Like I fell in love with his voice. I fell in love with like his body. I don't think that's strange. I don't know. Yeah. Mm. Okay, if you could have any superpower, which one would you choose? I'm choosing invisibility. That's what I'm choosing. Period. Like I am going to be looking at passwords and be getting like codes and putting transfer money. Like I'm gonna be a straight smooth criminal. Like I don't care. If you were invited to attend Hogwarts, which Hogwarts house would you choose? So you guys probably know my Hogwarts house. Can you guess? I'm gonna give you guys like a couple seconds. I am in. Oh, you would choose time travel. Would you go to the past or the future? I think that like I love the whole concept of time travel, but I'm thinking like it's not possible. Would you really want to go to the past? Because don't you think about like the butterfly effect where you change like a little detail and then like you go back to the future and then like everything is totally different? Because I do feel like, dang. Well, what time would you go to? What time period would you go to? Because I'm like, I don't think I want to spend a moment in a different time period. A lot of stuff I would change. Well, yeah, let me know what you changing. Like, would the rule be that you could go to any time period, anytime, or you could go back to like only a time period where you're alive? Like, what are the rules? 'Cause there's got to be rules. You know, like when traveling happens. A little bit of middle school. Yeah, I feel you. Like, I feel like if I had to go back to high school or middle school, I would tell myself, like, I probably would definitely go back to the past and let them meet as future people. Bring something like an iPhone, but you won't have Wi-Fi if you go to the past. Like you bring your iPhone and it's like, oh, sorry, y'all, none of it works. I didn't. Y'all don't have grids. Like, you got to bring the infrastructure with you. You know, like you got to make sure you have some kind of device that runs on oxygen. That would I'm gonna give that invention to somebody. Invent something where it just runs on oxygen. Boom. I would work harder in high school. I know, right? If I would probably like, hmm, in high school would have been more social. You know, there's no time like the present though. You can always become more social and work hard. But yeah, high school, like I feel like I didn't work hard at all in high school and I wasn't that social and I kind of don't regret that. Like I kind of don't regret that. You know, I remember people used to go, my mom was very like overprotective. So I did have a group of friends and so when they had things going on, which would just be like going to their house maybe and hanging out and then my mom picking me up. Like that that was my social. But I remember like at my high school, a lot of people were like partying and drinking and stuff like that. And I never ever went to a high school party. Never. My mom was not. Mm-mm. So yeah, I just feel like there's no time like the present. Whatever you wanted to do in the past, let's do it now. What were your highlights? What were the highlights of your childhood? I have a lot. I have a lot of highlights of my childhood. Um, I don't know. I used to play sports. I used to go a lot of places. My dad worked at a rec center with this like beautiful not forest, but it's called a canyon, but it had like forests and stuff like that. So I used to like play in the trees and climb trees. And like I remember one time there was this like huge beehive, right? And I used to just be in the woods doing my own thing. I used to build forts, climb trees, all this stuff. And then the beehive, and I remember it's like way up there. And it's like, okay, you can do whatever you want, just don't touch the beehive. And then somehow, I don't know, the bees just start swarming me and I run out of the bushes. And then my dad sees me coming and he like poured a bucket of water on me. That's like a highlight memory. That's funny. Okay, hold on. I had some friends back in high school. Was never the popular kid. Most of them these days I don't even keep in touch with. Mostly, yeah. Like I feel like I don't keep in touch with anyone in my high school. Like I had that one high school friend that I went to Aruba with, and y'all know how that ended up, which I'm okay with. It's all good. I don't know. I just think people come and go, reasons and seasons and all that stuff. Are you close to your brothers? No. No, I don't have I have two brothers. One is 1 year older than me. The other is about 8 years older than me. So he's 36. Yeah, he turned 36 like a couple weeks ago. And yep, I have two brothers. And we don't really have relationships. Like we just don't. Like we don't at all. Like at all. Sometimes I talk to the oldest one, but we never they're awkward. Like they really make me feel awkward when I'm around them. They have this like I can't even explain it, but like I digress. Like I don't even know. They're awkward. So, but my oldest brother has a how old is she? She's 4, my niece. My niece Bella, she's so sweet. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Yeah, yeah, I don't really trip about them. There's no animosity. It's just like if I try to have a conversation with them, it's awkward. I feel like, oh, I'd much rather not be bothered. They ain't doing nothing. Like one of them, the oldest one, Brandon, he lives and works in Sacramento. He works for the government. Yes, I would say they have always been this way. Like always been hella awkward. Like I don't have a real relationship with them at all. I do talk to my brother's fiance. He's getting married in a couple weeks, and his fiance she's cool, but I mean like if they're here, then I mostly will talk to her. I don't really talk to him like because my oldest brother Brandon, he's just so awkward. He's like, but he's not even remote. And this is like the less awkward one. This is the less awkward one I'm talking about. He'll just be like, "Oh, okay, sis. Yeah, sis. Okay, sis. Keep doing you, sis. Okay, sis." It's like he just, oh, sis. It's like, oh my god. Anyway, and they both try to be like super protective of me. I'm like, well, where is this energy when I'm like not around? Where's like my other brother Cameron? I remember he did this really it was so awkward. So the girl who I went to Aruba with, Dominique, right? This was like I feel like 4 or 5 years ago. And this is when I came home for like a winter vacation or summer vacation. And he works at like a restaurant here in San Francisco as a host. And I said to him, like, oh, like we want to come and see where you work and see what's going on. And he's like, okay, yeah, come and that's it. And so like we were broke. So basically before we got there, we had looked at the menu and we were like, we're gonna get this, this, and that. That's all we're gonna get. That's gonna cost like $20. And that's it. Then we leave. And my brother, like, we're sitting there, and he gives us a table, and then he just starts bringing us food, right? And he doesn't say anything. It's so awkward. And so he comes out, he like barely introduces himself to my friend, which my friend has known me for so long. She's never really met my brother because he's like that. He's like a weird recluse. Like, nobody knows what's going on with him and up in here. We don't know. He just does his own thing, and it's a complete mystery. And so, like, we sit down, and he brings the first course, I guess. And then we're like, oh, that's nice. And we don't know if he's paying. We don't know. He doesn't say anything. He's not like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get you dinner for tonight. Enjoy yourselves. Like, no, he just comes and flops stuff on the table and walks away. And me and my friend are like, wait, are we supposed to be paying for this? And she's like, I don't know. Why isn't he saying anything? I don't know. I'm like, and yeah, and so we're both just kind of like, okay. And then he was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take a break in like half an hour or in a couple minutes. And we're thinking like during his break, he's gonna come sit with us and like talk to us. No, he is nowhere to be found. So I asked his like coworker, like, where's Cameron? And oh, he's downstairs. And I was like, oh, okay. So I went downstairs. I was like, oh, are you gonna be huh? You're on break? Yeah. And we're just like, what is going on? So whatever. I guess he gave us like a free meal, which is great, which is nice. It just was the execution of it was weird. It was weird. He just would come and flop stuff. He didn't ask us, oh, do you want to try this? Do you want that? What are you in? You know what I mean? Like nothing. He just starts, like, he just brings out a plate, like puts it on the table and walks away, like without a word. Like, it was so awkward. We were just kind of like, okay. Mind you, my friend was vegan at the time. So she was kind of like, he's bringing us tacos and stuff like that. I can't eat any of this. Like, and so he brought us a dessert, and she was like, okay, I guess I can just eat the dessert. Like, it was like that. So when he got me like a lift to go home, right? And I swear we were both laughing. Our situation made me laugh too. And I was just kind of like, what is going on? So he like gets me a lift or a Uber to go home and doesn't say anything to the Uber driver, picks up his phone, and it's like early, I don't know, it's probably like 9, 10 o'clock. And he like he turns on his camera, and it's got like the flash, and he says, and he takes a picture of the license plate and of the guy and said, just so you know, this is my sister. If she doesn't make it home for whatever reason, like, I'm gonna da 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 da. And I was like, it was funny. I was just like, okay, dude. So I guess that's love. That's love, but it's awkward love. Awkward love, just awkward. I don't know. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. So was this question? Are you close with your brothers? Yeah, that was the question. So no, no, no. There's nothing. It's all love, but no, 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 no. We don't really like. We ain't cool like that. Says, have you ever kept a secret for more than a decade? I don't think so. I'm pretty much an open book. What's the most important thing you've learned from a celebrity? I feel like from like Beyonce, I've kind of learned to like keep it moving. I think she really is the great example of be a mystery, but still be what's the word? Like revered kind of thing. I think her new approach, do you care about reviews? I do, yes. But at the same time, I don't always like trust all reviews, right? What would be the the perfect crime? Like eliminating all student loans. Just hacking. What's her name? All of them. Sally Mae, Fed loans, servicing, like just hack them all and press Control Alt Delete. That's the perfect crime. What's the stupidest thing you've ever done? Stupidest thing I've ever done. Mm, oh no, I really don't know. Spontaneity or stability? Spontaneity. Spontaneity. What's the funniest movie you've ever seen? Is it White Chicks? It's got to be that movie, and it's got to be like, um, Don't Be a Menace while drinking whatever. Don't be a menace to society while drinking your juice in the hood. Um, and then maybe Friday, but like, there's got to be more. I remember there were some movies that me and Dominique used to like crack up to, but I can't remember. But Friday, stuff like that. When did you last meet a stranger you thought you'd never meet again? I don't get it. Do you save or spend? Right now I spend. Right now I'm spending. I'm gonna spending, you know, spending hype right now. Okay, I spent so much money in Greece. Oh my god. Oh my god. Not saving a dime. Even though like I'm not I'm using mainly like credit. OPM, other people's money. How much does the amount of traffic affect your mood? None. I don't drive. I don't care. Like I as long as I'm not like late for something, I'm fine. If you had to choose one animal to have as a pet, which animal would you choose? Well, I said earlier an elephant, so I'm gonna go with an elephant. What's your worst habit? Um, um, drinking alcohol. But I've gotten way better with my drinking. Like, oh, like I'm so proud of myself. Okay. Do they like to take a stand or just let things go? I'm a little bit of both. So whatever. What's your favorite song? Um, my favorite song. How do we does anyone on earth have a favorite song? Like this is your favorite song? Like one? I don't know. It's hard for me to say. How do you think the world would be different if bananas were illegal? Um, probably like less exploitation of banana republics like the Philippines, Nicaragua, or these type of countries where they're the only places that can grow bananas year round. How would the world be different? Probably not that different. There'll be like a underground covert cartel, banana cartel, and people would be like having speakeasies where they eat bananas. Like, yeah. Okay. Would you rather be able to control time or be able to know what other people are thinking? I think I would be so annoyed knowing what other people. I don't care what people are thinking. So I'm definitely trying to control time. Like I really don't care about what is going on in someone else's brain. Like I don't even want to know. Like I have enough trouble knowing what goes on in my own brain. Like that's already too much. Like I would want to turn that off. But no. Is it difficult to do what you do? No. My mom always says to me, like, girl, you live the life of Riley. I don't know who Riley is, but she's like, man, I would want to be you for a day. She's like, you don't do shit. Ugh. Like, she's proud of me. She's like, okay, you got your degrees, and you do what you can. You be having jobs sometimes, you be working and stuff like that. But she's like, but true day to day, I do live the good life. I can't even lie. Can't even lie. Who is your favorite celebrity? Beyonce? 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 If you found $2,000 on the ground, what would you do with it? I would just put it in my savings account. That's all I would do. I don't think I wouldn't spend it because I just use my credit card and then I pay off my credit card. That's how I'm living life. See, I be telling y'all, get your credit score up because I've like grew my credit score from 2018 to this year. And like I used to not get approved for nothing. Now I get approved for everything. And for now, until I find a good gig, I'm just making my minimum payments. That's it. What's your favorite pizza topping? Mushrooms, garlic. My most perfect pizza because I've been annoyed with pizza lately because I feel like I'm gonna need y'all to like be generous with the tomato sauce. I don't want it to feel like I'm eating cheese bread. Like the last pizza I got, which was a couple days ago, I felt like I was eating cheese bread. I'm like, put some tomato sauce up on here, some marinara, some like put more. So I need extra sauce, cheese, mushroom, Italian sausage, or like like the meatball, garlic. Boom. That's my perfect pizza. Um, what? Now here's a weird question. What which okay, I like the white sauce more than the red sauce, but I get what you're saying. I never had the white sauce. I like white sauce like on the pasta, like carbonara, Michael Jackson or Prince. Let the bus go by. Okay. Growing up, Michael Jackson, hands down. Here and now, Prince. I was never a Prince fan growing up. Not that I didn't know his songs, like his songs, but just like Michael Jackson was just like it for me. I love Michael Jackson. I remember I did in high school, this is like a year or two before he died. I did a Black History project on Michael Jackson and I like learned the Beat It dance and I presented it in front of the class. And I remember the day he had died, my friend who did the project with me was like, "Where are you? Are you okay? Are you somewhere?" And I was like, "What do you mean? What are you talking about?" Michael Jackson died. And I like dropped the phone and like it was whole but now Prince, I his music just has really grown on me. And it's not since he died. That's probably been like the last year and a half that I'm like, ooh, like I heard a song. It's called "So Blue." You meant the world to me. Oh, I forgot. I was watching some show. It was with Zoe, not Zoe Saldana. What the hell her name? Zoe Kravitz. That show was terrible. Don't watch it. I mean, you can watch it, sure. It's called like High Fidelity on Hulu. I didn't like it at all. But I heard that song in that movie and I was like obsessed with him ever since. So like now I'm totally more Prince, even though like I I love Michael Jackson, but I'm sorry. I believe the allegations. I really do. It's hard for me not to. It's hard for me to not be like but he's already gone, so he was proven innocent. So we're just gonna go by the justice system and call him innocent. But mm. What's your favorite Chinese food? My favorite Chinese food. Oh, oh, it's gotta be like shui jiao. Shui jiao is water dumplings. That's oh my god, no, I have so many, but like I feel like shui jiao is just it warms your heart. And I love hot pot. And I love the century eggs. Have you guys ever heard of century eggs? I'm gonna have to you guys have to look it up. But century eggs it looks weird. Don't get me wrong. They look very weird. And it took me probably 3 or 4 years of living in China before I tried one. And they're the best. It's so good. But yeah, I think that shui jiao is my favorite, and it's particularly jiu cai jidan or jiu cai rou. So jiu cai is like, I think they call it Chinese chives or something like that. And oh, it's just, I'm thinking about it right now. So yeah, you guys got to try the century egg. They might sell them in places in America, like at a Chinese grocer. Um, oh yeah, dim sum is my. I love dim sum. What else? What other Chinese food? I can't think about stuff off the top of my head, but I really miss Chinese food, Chinese cuisine. I miss eating like um the whole like banquet style, Chinese style, family style. I love it. I miss that. So my mom, like, her friends got all these like Chinese appetizers, and my mom was like, "Oh, how about you eat that?" And I tried to eat it, and I'm like, I don't want to be such of a authentic, the authentic police, you know. But I'm like, this is not Chinese food. This this is not Chinese food at all. I mean, it is to me insulting. It's like, I ate, it was like a some chicken, I think. It was chicken, but it was so sweet. I'm like, Chinese people don't eat sweet chicken. It's just like a thing, an American thing. Like it is, they just invented American Chinese food or American food. I don't even think you need to call it Chinese. It's just American. It's not Chinese food, but that's a topic for a different thing. So, what would you do if you could possess the abilities of your dog? My dog, my dog literally, she's a baby. She just licks your feet and chews on things. Like she does not, I don't know. Maybe she has like a good sense of smell. Isn't that what dogs have? I don't think I need to have a good sense of smell like that. I'm good. 'Cause I don't need to be smelling everything, like all the nasty smells around I'm good. Okay, what's the smartest thing you've ever done? I think the smartest thing I've ever done, honestly, was move to China. Like I definitely think, and the smartest thing I've ever done is just like not letting people dictate my actions, just being like, no, this is what I want to do and just doing it. I really think that is the smartest thing I've ever done. So it's not one, I've had plenty of situations, like for instance, with um, when I first went to China, excuse me, sorry, I couldn't find anyone to come with me. Like, and I didn't. The smartest thing was just not to let that stop me. And I did not let that stop me, and I still went, and it was great, and just like not being afraid to tune out the naysayers. Do I believe in God? Yes, but in a very different way. I don't believe in like a man in the sky watching everything I do, but at the same time, I kind of look at it like higher power, like like more Chinese, because I've uh studied a lot of like Chinese philosophy and Chinese like religious thought, and to me, it's so deep. Like they really believe in like the concept of tian. I think it's called tian, and it's like the sky, but it's also like a concept of like yin and yang, and then like everything just being like about harmony and blah blah blah. So like a lot of the times I do pray, and I do ask like whatever, whoever, but I don't see it as like a man in the sky who will send you to heaven or hell. And I don't really believe in any of that. I just feel like it's about harmony and balance, and I don't know, I might be talking out of my ass right now. So it's like, yes, I do, but I don't think of like maybe in the Christian way or the Western way. Yeah, I kind of see like the universe. Like that's what I'm more inclined to say. Like, oh, thank you, universe. More than thank God. But like, of course, colloquially, I'll say thank God. Oh my God. Oh, Lord have mercy, stuff like that. But in terms of my personal beliefs, I'm more like, oh, the universe, thank you, universe. Pray to the universe, please, universe, manifest like that. Does that make sense? Ugh. So it's a yes, I do, and no, I don't. But yes, I do. But yes, yes. Okay, that's deep. And then I try. So yeah, yeah. Because I'm like, and I don't believe that like the grand scheme of the universe, right, would send down a Bible or a book. Because like all of my family, like we know we're African American. Like we all grew up like Christian. I don't know, like what denomination? I don't know. Baptist-ish. I think I don't even know what my mom is. My mom is she be going to different churches. But she's a churchgoer. She's got like all these like little like look at this. Look, she got all these little pamphlets around like living justly, loving mercy, a biblical response to our open word or our broken world, our daily bread ministries. Like I don't think I need a preacher to like what? And I feel like the powers of the universe, why would they send their message through a book? Hear me out. How many people in this world are illiterate? Like you know what I mean? Like you have to learn how to read. Like why wouldn't they just send it to something that you can innately do? Like thinking or something like that. Like just put it all in. I don't know. I just feel like the way we're raised, it's to me obviously like got me more to it than just oh you did this so you go to and burn forever. What? That's too much fear for me. That's too like eternal damnation. What? No, 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 no. I don't know what the Chinese believe. They have so many different like what do you call it? Not really. Yeah, religions like Taoism and uh Buddhism and stuff like that. And I'm like that. I kind of like that stuff, but in modern China, they're kind of like, oh yeah, this is just like things we used to believe, but now we're more inclined to believe science and stuff like that. Do we know what happens after? Like I'm like kind of an agnostic approach. Like that's how I feel, like agnostic about it. Like, And it's cute because in Chinese, how you say agnostic is 不可知论. Like it means basically I don't know ology. I don't know ism. That's what it is in Chinese. I don't know ism. Don't know ism. Like there's no way to know. You just don't know. Bukajilun. You cannot know ism. So that's what I am. I'm a cannot knowist, aka agnostic. So yes, okay. Yeah. I kind of like went on a tangent there. What's the smart? Okay, so I answered all of the questions of the thing that I had. And yeah, if there's any more questions, let me know. I have another one here, but this is like a lot of questions. 350 good questions to ask. I'll probably um hmm, yeah. I guess like I will leave y'all on that note. Oh, but like be on the lookout. I've got so much stuff in store. Thank you for all the support. I hope everyone has been happy, healthy, safe. You know, try to live your best life the best you can because you know it's hard out here. It's hard out here. Even when it's easy, it's hard. It's hard. I'm looking for a job. I had a job interview a couple days ago. I think that was on Friday. Yeah, that was Friday, and I think that it'll most likely happen. We'll see. We'll see. But I have a good feeling about it. Um, Also, I booked my next trip, my next place I'm going in December. So I'll keep you guys updated on that, on the where and what and who and why. Anyway, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this live stream. Very random stories that come out. I love talking to y'all. I always have such a good time doing that. Again, thank you for the support. I love everybody. Momo da. See you next video. Bye.